We are live. What's up, Internet? See, the dork value on the show is why people watch. So,
Well, then we should probably lean into it. I'll
yeah.
put tape on my glasses for next week,
I don't think that's necessary.
which I realize I don't even have on right now.
Mhm.
Well, such is life.
So, what you been up to? Enjoying the weather?
Oh, so much.
Hmm.
It is mid-30s and rainy, and the sun may or may not be out. It's great for soft lighting, these clouds. It's great, but the sky is the color of slightly dirty snow.
Yeah. That's
That's
about the same here.
So,
yeah. But
winter in the Great Lakes region, baby.
So predictable. But we did get a pretty good snowfall here a couple weeks ago. So I was about to say there's snow on the ground, but it's like little patches here and there from where it hasn't melted off yet. Because we have had rain. You know, we were up in the 40s for a high the other day. Which for those of you who are not in the Midwest or in the northern part of the United States or Canada, that's not cold. That's actually pretty warm right now. I was out in just a long sleeve shirt the other day because you get used to the cold and then it's not cold and it doesn't feel cold. But
well, yeah, it's all about perspective. My favorite part about this is like going from summer to fall to winter. It hits 50 degrees and everyone's like, "Oh, I need jackets and pants and hats."
Mm-hmm.
In March, if it's 48, people are in shorts.
Yeah.
You know, because it's all just about what you're used to and accustomed to, right? And that just always cracks me up.
Yeah. So
it gets the exact same temperature, but we're approaching it in two very different ways.
Well, and at work when I'm at the dealership, there's two totally different perspectives because as it was getting cold, it would get down to the 40s and people are coming in going, "Oh man, it's so cold outside," and they'd be shivering. And like this last week, man, it is so warm. It's so nice outside today, and it is like overcast, and it doesn't happen to be raining at the moment. So,
but your facial hair doesn't freeze when you breathe. So
that's correct. Yep, but
good.
So. All right, we're going to do our annual Predicties results today. We do need to talk about, if we want to do the annual Predicties for 2025 next week, or what we want to do with that. But we can talk about that and figure that out. If you see me glancing over this way, I've mentioned this on shows before. My second monitor is in almost a 90-degree angle to my other monitor, which I don't know why I did that, but it's just the way it is. And so I have the Predicties up on the screen next to me here. So just so people aren't distracted by, why does Mitch keep looking to the side? So
it's just because you're bored. Let's be honest.
Yeah, well, it happens. So.
All right.
Just about running out of coffee today, so we better get going. So, all right, let's take a look at our annual Predicties. We have to do the annual Predicties theme, of course. All right, that's enough of that. All right. So what we do every year is we pick what we think is going to happen over the course of the year, and then at the end of the year we grade them. So these are our 2024 annual Predicties. We have 2 picks per category. One of the categories is iPhone and iPad, which we will talk about first. The Mac, wearables, wild card picks, and our Buck wild card picks, which are worth twice what the rest of them. So the rest of them are worth 1 point. So Buck wild card picks are worth 2 points. Yeah. And we didn't score anything in the Buck wild picks this time. Spoiler alert!
Way to ruin the spoiler.
But so we don't have to worry about 2 points coming up. But I'm going to go ahead and put the scoreboard up. And bear with me as it'll be. This is the first time I'm doing this, so I'll have to see how quick it is to edit these. But the first category we have is iPhone and iPad, and my first pick. And I had to look back and make sure that this was that everything got updated. But my first pick was new iPad Air, Mini, and Pro will all be announced in 2024. And I got that point. So, like I said, it's I might just do this by category. And then my other pick for the iPad and iPhone, all models of the iPhone announced in the fall will include the action button.
Gotta love the action button.
Yep, gotta love the
How do you
action
feel
button.
about getting 1 point, only 1 point for guessing all 3 iPads?
You know, I mean, it is what it is. So that gives me 2 points.
It's not a very efficient use of your guesses, Mitch.
Yep, in the first round. So, Cam, why don't you let us know what you picked for the iPhone and iPad category?
Can I zoom in? Oh, thank God. Speaking of not having my glasses, I was struggling to read that. iPhone 16 standard or max will have increased display size. I got that point.
Yep.
And my second pick is the iPad Pro gets updated with an OLED screen, and the M4 iPad Pro has a double OLED screen. Actually, there's 2 layers to it for the Ultra Retina XDR. Sunday.
I gave you 2 dings for that.
Oh, thanks.
Since it was 2 layers.
Yes.
So that coming out of that round, we are tied at 2. So let's move on to the Mac round. Do you want to start the Mac round off here?
Sure. All right. So my 2 picks for the Mac in 2024 is that the Mac the first one, Mac Mini gets updated. And the second is the M3 Ultra chipset is announced. And the M3 Ultra does not exist.
Yep.
It wasn't announced. It was never made. They went straight to the M4.
Yep.
So I got that one wrong, but Mac Mini did get updated, and boy, is it mini!
I was going to say it didn't just get updated; it got redesigned. So
yeah,
we'll give that a ding.
I kind of want one just because of how cute it is.
Yep. So after the Mac picks, we are 2 for me and 3 for you. So.
Oh well, you didn't say what yours were.
Oh, I haven't said. I missed both of mine, by the way. No M4 announced in 2024. That was a big. And the Mac Pro with a new M3 chip that incorporates 4 M3 Max chips will be announced. Why was this not a Buck Wild pick?
I don't know. Look at the notes for that one. If Mitch gets this pick, Cam will do something very silly on the show. Yeah. I'm so glad that you didn't, because I forgot I made that bet.
Yeah. So big buzzer on that one. So, all right. And then in wearables, I had my first pick was Vision Pro will have a release date announced before March 2024. And if I'm not mistaken, they released that like in January or February.
If memory serves, I think you had a really like what am I trying to say? Yeah, it was earlier than we both expected, I think.
Right,
my brain just stopped working there for a second. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. And then my second pick in the wearables category was at least 1 new color will be announced for the Apple Watch Ultra, and we got black this year, so that's a big dinger.
Is black a color though? Really?
Well, it is in this situation.
You don't want to talk about. Never mind. We won't go there. My picks for wearables. First one, Apple Vision Pro ships in Q2 of 2024, and that is April to June. And I don't think it shipped in the fall, right?
The Apple Vision Pro?
Yeah, or is it?
No, it shipped way earlier than that.
Okay.
It was shipping, I think, by March.
Yeah, that's right. Oh well. And then AirPods get updated. Ding, ding, ding.
I'll give you a dinger on that one.
So I went 1 for 2 on that one.
Yep. So that puts us tied at 4 apiece. And what do we got next? Wild card picks. So we have 3 wild card picks. For some reason, I thought we had 2, but maybe just had everything.
Well,
else
we only have
2.
1 Buck Wild, so I think in order to keep it even.
So you want to go ahead and start with your picks?
Yes. My first wild card pick is that a new iPad Air model is announced, and I got that. See, Mitch, 1 iPad, 1 point.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised I let you pick that.
Yeah, I'm looking at now. Yeah. I'm surprised that was allowed to, but I'm going to take it.
All right.
My second was new Apple TV hardware because I am still going to tout the usefulness of the Apple TV and the fact that Apple continues to not make it as good as it could be.
Yep.
I have planted my flag on that hill and I will die there.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
probably without anything that I want.
Fortunately, that gets buzzed. So, and then your final pick
is the Apple Watch gains new health features, and as Mitch pointed out, it can help with sleep apnea or tracking it or whatever.
It detects.
I don't have sleep apnea, but I'll take the point.
Yep.
All right. What about yours?
All right. I've got WWDC focuses on AI, in parentheses, machine learning. We weren't sure what the message was going to be, but it was literally AI and Apple Intelligence.
Intelligence, yeah. They can't help themselves sometimes.
See, the thing is they ended up owning AI at that point. So, artificial intelligence or Apple Intelligence they ended up owning AI. And Apple will be required to offer sideloading or an alternative app stores in at least one country in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like it was that long ago. Because that feel like that long ago to you?
What, when all that stuff happened?
Yeah.
In Europe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 6 months ago, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it just feels like it shouldn't be that long ago. And then the final pick, new Mac Studio will be announced. And that is, I did not get that. Out of all the things that were announced this last year, that's the one thing that wasn't. So that's still on the M2 processor.
Yeah, well, guess what's probably coming in 2025 then?
Probably. Yeah. If they upgrade the Mac Studio, we'll see. So,
I mean, I would be surprised if they didn't.
It's not a slam dunk, but I would be surprised if they didn't as well. The real question mark is if they're going to update the Mac Pro, because they've got to come up with a reason for that thing to exist. Because right now, just be able to add more storage to it or something like that is just not enough reason for this product to exist. So, anyway, that leaves us tied at 6 after all 3 rounds here. And then we've got the Buck wildcard pick. I guess that's all 4 rounds, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And I chose one that was very timely for when we were picking. Packers and Lions will not make the NFC Championship game. And unfortunately, neither one of us got our teams in the NFC Championship game.
The Lions played the NFC Championship. They lost. They were up 17 at halftime against the 49ers.
Will not make. Somehow, why did I mark this red?
Because you said Packers and Lions, which is technically impossible.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, no, I think I meant and or. But
I know. I'm being a turd. Give yourself the point. Because my Lions did make the NFC Championship game, and they blew a 17-point lead to the San Francisco 49ers, who then lost in overtime to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And the Lions just last night went back to San Francisco and won.
Yeah.
To a much, much, much worse version of the 49ers, because much like the Lions, their entire team is hurt. And multiple guys that are starting were either on the street or on practice squads last week. Mm-hmm. It was the defenses did not show up yesterday. I think we won like 40-38 or something like that. It was bad.
I'm trying to remember why I marked that red, and I can't remember why. I don't know if it was because we were saying that they would win, but
yeah, it says make,
rules are rules, I guess. Well, I'll take the point.
And this is going to cost me the annual Predicties, but turn it green because the Lions made the game.
All right. And then,
all right,
you want to read your pick?
Yeah, my Buck wildcard pick. So my wildcard and Buck wildcard picks tend to be things that I want to have happen and are not necessarily things that I think will happen, which, as I say it out loud, is a really dumb way to make choices for a game that I want to win. But nonetheless, sometimes I lead with the heart, not with the mind. And my pick was that tvOS would have a dedicated home app, and they still don't, and it's still stupid that they don't have that. It's supposed to be your smart home hub, and you can't have a home app like in the freaking name. It's anyways.
All right.
I've said this too many times on the internet. I'm gonna stop.
Okay. Well, that leaves me with 7 points and you with 6. And thank you for giving me the victory, even though I didn't score it that way. So.
Well, you earned it. You got it right.
Yep.
Mitch is now the annual benevolent predictator.
All right. I'll take it. Does it come with a crown? I don't think we have a crown. I'll have to
you
go
to Burger King and
later.
Get one for yourself.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. That's funny. All right. All right. Well,
at BK, you can have it your way.
Oh, have it my way and get a crown.
Yep.
The only thing I like at Burger King is the Whopper.
The last time I went to Burger King was at least 2 years ago, because the line at McDonald's was too long, and my daughter did something really awesome at school. So I was like, she never gets Happy Meals. So I was like, let's go get it, But there was like a super long line, and so we got a kids meal from Burger King, and she got so violently ill after eating it.
I did.
So
that happened to me once too. So
it was like horror movie bad amounts of vomit.
No, for sure.
It was like a hose. It was awful.
Oh, for sure. The same thing happened to me. But I went back and I was okay. So, all right, give me just 1 second. I'm going to put you on the screen which is funny because the Zoom window looks like the Zoom window's got you in both panes, which cracks me up so hard. But I got to blow my nose real quick. Hold on.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the Internet with Cam, where I stall for time while Mitch takes care of something. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's doing a Rubik's Cube, or maybe he has a surprise for us. We'll see.
No, I had to blow my nose, so.
Oh, well, I avoided bodily functions.
And it was pretty
because I filtered.
Didn't
myself,
want to do that live on the internet. So, all right. Well, that's the annual Predicties. I thought if we had some time, we would talk a little bit about some of the things that we've done this last year, maybe some new products that we have in our life that we're excited about, maybe some old products in our life that just came through for us this year. So you have anything new that you wanted to talk about that you got new for this year?
Well, if we're going to do this now, then we don't have to do the delighting us section at the end, because this is exactly something that, well, this is what I was going to say, but if we're doing this, then may I introduce you, Mitch, to the newest member of the Brennan Technology family.
Hey!
I have joined Mitch in the PS5 club, and boy howdy, that thing rips.
So what have you noticed that's different from upgrading from a PS4?
Just the speed at which everything loads. So like playing Fortnite on a PS4, you can play the game fine. It just takes really, really long to boot up, and then it takes maybe 15 to 20 seconds to get back to the lobby from a game. And when you're playing with people on PCs or PS5s, they're like, oh, just like, are you back yet? And like the audio would cut out during that phase for a couple seconds. So like you're in the middle of a conversation, and then you don't hear the answer to the question you asked. I gotta so that. And then in a game like Fortnite, the render distance is so much further and in so much more detail, and the light and the shadows and everything. Like I can walk out of a door from inside a house to outside, and when I walk out, everything's bright and then kind of comes back to reality, kind of like in real life. Or when you walk from a bright place into a dark place, it like is dark and then lightens. So like those are cool effects. And then I was able to. I've only bought one game because money is a real thing. But I got the college football 25.
Oh, I was going to say, can I make a guess? Because I saw you playing that the other day.
Yeah. Oh, dude. So we played the ever living heck out of that game when we were in college. Like we had a dynasty mode. Me and my roommate and another guy, they both played on the football team. I did not. And we had like real live, where like they had to come to my room play their game. And so like we couldn't advance the week until all three of us had played the game.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our ways to make it more difficult was like we each picked a really, really, really crappy school.
Sure.
You know, so some like directional college in like Louisiana or whatever, or you know, like Harvard. Not that it's a crappy school, but they weren't even a first division, you know, FBS bowl division team. So like we had to promote them, and then it was who could win the national championship first. So recruiting was harder because we were a tiny school. Like we didn't have all this sort of stuff. And it was so much fun. But then obviously those games weren't made for what 16 years or whatever. And so when it came out, I was like, oh, I really want to play it just for nostalgia. But I was like, I'm not buying a $500 PlayStation for a game. Like for one,
Yeah.
I just can't do it. But I was able to get it for $325. It was like the Fortnite Cobalt bundle edition over $325. And the reason that I was able to do it was my church gave me a $500 Amazon gift card for Christmas and said, we want to make sure that we know it's been a really hard year for you. We want to make sure that you and Kennedy have a great Christmas. And so I was able to, you know, I had already bought her stuff. So I was able to buy that for me. And then I still had, you know, 100 and, or was it 370? I can't remember, but I was able to, you know, get Kennedy a few more nicer things. And so it was just really, it was an awesome thing for my church to do. Like they've been so good to me this year in so many ways.
Yeah.
Because I just couldn't justify spending my own money on something like that when, you know, I need to pay for, you know, like real things like food and clothes and rent and all that sort of stuff. So, so yeah, it's cool to have. But the reason for why I was able to do it makes it even more of a blessing. So yeah, that's one new thing that happened very recently. And then the other thing is it was supposed to come between the 29th and the 2nd. So, you know, 2 days before today and 2 days after today. And I drove to my parents on December 23rd in Detroit. And guess what showed up on my doorstep December 24th? The PlayStation.
Yeah.
So I'm like, here I am 5.5 hours away. I didn't ask my neighbor to move any packages inside because I wasn't supposed to get any packages.
Yeah.
So it sat outside in the freezing cold and rain for 2 days. But it was fine.
Yeah. At least someone didn't take it.
Oh no, not in my neighborhood.
No.
But my neighbor did see that I was gone and there was packages outside, and so she actually moved them to the back of the house for my staircases. So they
Oh, good.
Which was great. But when they were still in the rain, she didn't have a key to my house. But so yeah, that is the full, very long-winded story of this right here. So
it is definitely.
What about you, sir?
It's definitely one of my favorites for the year. You know, I've been playing through the Star Wars games and just recently started Jedi Survivor. And just really liking that game. It's fun.
Okay. I know this isn't it, but when you said Jedi Survivor, I just pictured a bunch of Jedis on the TV show Survivor. Oh, that has to be a real show, please.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Let's make this happen.
And they can't use lightsabers.
Or maybe they can. That might be fun. But
it would make their contests a little more interesting.
Yeah. As far as anything else, I think this year's been kind of a lean year for my wife and I. So we've been kind of watching our spending. So we haven't bought a whole lot of stuff new, but I can say that my Mac Mini is still rocking. I'm still using that pretty regularly. Like that a lot. Invested in a new everyday carry, which I talked about, I think a couple episodes back. We finally bought a Ridge wallet and keychain, and really still enjoying that fact that it snaps right onto the back of my phone, and I can have a little cash in there, can have my cards, holds more than the Apple wallet does. So
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, so
it'd be hard not to carry more than the Apple wallet.
Yeah, but I mean, when it comes down to it, it just disconnects and becomes just a regular minimal wallet that I can throw in my pocket, and you know, it's not weird. So, can't think of a whole lot else. There, as far as my delighting me segment for today, if we're going to do that now, one of the things that I've got a few things for Christmas that I really liked. And one of those things I got from my mom, and it was one of those internet connected bird feeders. And
I'm sorry, what now?
it's a bird feeder that has a video camera and a motion detection, and
Okay.
and not only that, but it identifies the birds for you in the app.
This is Steve. He is 4 years and 12 or 8 months old.
Oh boy. What it actually does is identifies what species they are. So
though he is a Cardinal, he is a Cubs fan.
yeah. So weird.
That's cool. Okay, I didn't think about the whole camera thing. That's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
When you said internet connected, I was like, so you can like, I didn't even think through that. But the camera and the identifying the birds, that's pretty neat. Especially if like you're into that. That's like a perfect gift for a bird person,
Well, what was funny is we're sitting there Christmas morning and we're opening gifts, and so my sister bought both of them, and didn't tell my mom that she got one, but my mom she bought them for my mom to give to me, the one of them.
Oh, okay.
So, but then she was also giving one to my mom, and she didn't really say much. But so my sister's handing out gifts, and she gives the bird feeder to my mom, and my mom opens it up, and I looked at it and I'm like, wow, that's the one I wanted. And I kind of felt a little like, oh, I really wanted that one. Shut up, Mitch. Just appreciate the gifts that you got.
Yeah.
And I didn't see another box under the tree that was the same size and shape as the one that my sister just gave my mom. So kind of like, okay, well, that's fine. She got it, and she'll like it and everything. So, and then a little while later, my sister grabs the gift from my mom to give to me and hands it to me, and it's the perfect size box. And my sister looks at me and she's like, "Do you know what this is?" And I got a smile on my face. I was like, "Yeah, I know what this is." And so I opened it up, and sure enough, and so I got that mounted last week, and it's up and working. And I've been getting notifications on my phone when we have birds at the feeder. There aren't a whole lot right now, so it's been, it hasn't been a ton of notifications, but I have a little chickadee that keeps coming, and a house finch, and that's about it. My best friend who is kind of into birding told me that we need to get a different kind of feed to attract more variety. So I'll probably be doing that once we're out of this feed. So, but
I wish we called other animal enthusiasms
enthusiasts,
the way we do birding.
Yeah.
Like, I just love dogs. I'm really into dogging.
Yeah. I
What do
really
you do?
love
Oh,
cats.
what
So I'm into
what kind of
catting.
hobbies do you have? Horsing, catting, duckbill platypusing. You gotta always take it to the duckbill platypus, man.
Yeah.
What a wild creature. You know what I learned literally yesterday? That male duckbill platypuses have these little spikes on their back feet that are venomous.
Huh.
So they, like, if you're chasing them and they kick you with it.
Interesting.
So this thing with a giant bill that is also furry and a mammal that lays eggs is also poisonous.
Oh, don't forget the webbed feet.
Yeah, those are there too.
This is just proof that God has a sense of humor.
Yeah, God's like, I know you're gonna want to put this in a a genus or whatever. Yeah, good luck, friends.
Good luck.
It's all of them. I'm just waiting for a day when someone shaves one and finds out that it has like scales underneath that. It's all the things. Anyways, I don't know.
Sorry, yeah, he had some spare
totally
parts
off
left
the
over.
rails.
So.
What?
He had some spare parts left over. So
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, very good.
Yep.
I'm trying to.
Where did this show go wrong?
Yeah. Well, so I will say, to talk about like things that are delighting me is like one of the. I know a lot of times when we do this section, we talk about like new things or new experiences, or I'll often talk about like, oh, football season's here, or like whatever. It's like new things, but like lately, one of the benefits of losing your job and not having a lot of expendable income is you have a lot more time in your hands, and two, you start to rediscover things that you had either stopped using regularly or whatever. And so some of the things that like I've kind of rediscovered an enjoyment of is like little GoPro, and just making silly movies with my kids, or I only have one, giving it to her and let her do something. And then just me figuring out like, oh, you can really do a lot with this little guy.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I bought it like 2 or 3 years ago. So it's not new. It's still great. It still shoots, for what this form factor is, it shoots great stuff. It's never going to compete with the quality I can get in my big boy camera, but this can't do what this can do,
Right.
And so for what it is, it's a really, really great little toy. And so, yeah, part of, I think, what's been delighting me these last couple months is just rediscovering like, oh, I bought this for a great reason 2 years ago because this is a really cool tool, or reading more books. I mean, like, oh, I bought this book a year ago. I haven't read any of it. Now I'm really glad I did because this book is really helpful in this, season. So just I'm grateful for little things like that, and just the ability to rekindle some excitement and delight from stuff that past Cam thought was cool, and then
Yeah.
now I'm like, oh, I still think it's cool. Why did I not use this as much as I should have?
Mm-hmm. I was just looking at Amazon, since so much of my stuff I get from Amazon. Oh, one thing that I haven't mentioned, you're into Hearthstone.
Yes.
I'm actually looking at getting into Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
So similar concepts, but
yeah, Magic is much like the world of Hearthstone is like this, right?
mm-hmm.
Magic is like, I mean, I played Magic in elementary and middle school, the actual physical card game, but I've yet to play the digital version. I would love to hear what your thoughts are after you've played it for a while.
I've been playing through a lot of the preliminary stuff to learn how to play it, and I've been doing pretty well. I don't know if you can see the box down there, but that's a beginner set. So
Gotcha.
yeah, it's.
So are you playing the actual physical cards, or?
I got physical cards to learn how to play with the physical cards because it's not that the game itself is different, but like scorekeeping is different and all that kind of stuff because the computer's not doing it all for you. So you need to learn how to do all the scorekeeping and keeping up with like your attack points and all that kind of stuff as you're doing enchantments and different things to build up the characters that are on the board. Being able to keep track of all that stuff and how you keep track of that when you're playing against people. A friend of mine that I work with actually plays Magic the Gathering and has been playing for a long time. And we just got a shop in town here, which has got a great name. It's the Frozen Dragon. It's a nerd shop. It's got a whole bunch of cool stuff. And they have, on Friday nights, they do a draft night where you come in, you pay $20, and then they give you so many packs of cards, and you open up one pack of cards at a time. So let's say you've got 5 guys sitting around the table. You open up your set of cards, and you pick one. You pick one card out of the deck that you want. You set it down and you hand it to the guy next to you. And then whatever the guy on the other side of you opened up, they hand to you. And then you go through and you do that for all of the cards. You just keep handing cards back and forth and picking off the ones that you want out of the stack. And you end up building a deck, and then you play that deck.
Oh, that's cool.
So then they'll sit and they'll go one-on-one against each other playing the deck in the standard version of the game. And then they do the Commander version on Sunday nights, they have everybody come down to the shop and they'll sit and play Commander, which I haven't played and I don't know much about it. What I do know is that you can play more than one-on-one. So you can have like 5 or 6 guys playing and everybody's playing against each other and the rules are set to be able to do that. But it seems like really intriguing and sounds like a fun social um like a social thing, be able to get out and do stuff. So, and it's not exorbitantly expensive. Some stuff can get a little bit pricey, but I'm not going to go after like that $100 card that everybody's looking for, or the $10,000 card that everyone's looking for.
I'm sorry, how many dollars?
So there's some that can get really expensive. So, because of their rarity and stuff like that. If you go and you look to buy specific cards, those would be collector cards that you wouldn't play with those cards.
I'd like to spend $10,000 so I can have something to look at.
Yeah.
I guess that's what art collectors do, and there's usually more zeros involved.
Yeah. It's collecting stuff like that, But you can actually find cards that are worth a decent amount of money. So you can go through some of these decks and some of these cards are worth, $30-$40. So
yeah, one of the guys that I play Fortnite with, I think you played with us once. His name is Mark, and he's got a son that is a freshman in high school, and he's super into like the sports card scene.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like just the other day, they went and they spent a chunk of money on and bought a bunch of cards, and we're trying to figure out like, okay, these are the ones that are worth keeping because we think their value is going to go up. These are the ones that we want to sell now because they're hot,
Mm-hmm.
And these are all just like and it's just like that whole culture. Like there's whole YouTube channels dedicated and streaming channels and stuff all about this whole carding, burning carding.
Yep.
And I collected cards when I was a kid, like hockey cards, just because I was super into sports and I just wanted the whole set. And then my parents threw them away when I left for college. I had like 8 binders worth. Like you could have at least sold something. My dad's like, I don't care. I should either throw them out or burn them.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I have cards down in the basement that I need to go through sometime and see if there's any in there that are worth anything.
Yeah, but like I guess it makes sense that like people our age are now like, because when I was a kid, I was obsessed with the cards.
Yeah.
But now that like we're all of the age where we have, theoretically expendable income, that it is sort of reboomed. And I know it's not like recent in the last 6 months, but the last, 4 or 5 years, it really has become a mainstream sort of deal. You got guys like Gary Vaynerchuk doing it, and it's like, oh, Gary, you just can't. There's not a trend he won't hop on.
Yeah. Well, there's even a show. Bally Sports got bought up by FanDuel, but they've got they've got a show on their cable channel that's all about carding. So.
Yeah, well, I don't need another hobby to spend money on, but I already have expensive hobbies,
Yeah.
I'd have to like I'd have to sell all of my camera and video equipment.
Yeah.
To justify, and I'm not going to do that because I love those things. In front of me, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you count the iPhone, 7 cameras within hand reach.
Yeah.
Which is oh no, wait, there's 2 more down there. That's 9.
All right. Well, since we've got the time for it if we want to. Is there any did you get a chance to watch any of Silo yet?
No, I haven't. I'm going through some stuff on Paramount Plus right now, and then when I cancel that, I'm going to pick Apple back up.
Okay.
Because I still haven't seen season 3 of Ted Lasso yet either. I just haven't been able to bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
But when I go back to Apple, that's when I'll watch Severance. I'll catch up on Silo. I'll do Ted Lasso. I'll catch up on Slow Horses, which is a show I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any of that?
Not the second season. We watched the first season, but
I think they're on season 4 now.
We just watched the first season, so we haven't watched any more since then. But
I really like Gary Oldman. In general, I think he's a really good actor. And he plays just like the most slovenly, like just grossest human.
Yeah.
But but I love it.
Um,
Because he as much as he says he hates the people that work for him, he really does care about them.
yeah. Do you did you watch the first season of Severance?
No, I haven't seen any of it
You
yet.
haven't seen any.
I
Okay.
know you really highly recommended it, but
Hmm.
once Silo is over, first season, I cut Apple TV just because I
Hmm.
had to start cutting costs.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, when I go back, that's going to be one of the first ones I watch.
Hmm. So, um, yeah. So the new season of Severance is coming on January 17th.
Okay.
So they should start rolling that out. Um,
Have you been watching the second season of Silo then?
yeah. Hmm. Yeah, we've been watching it as they release episodes. So,
Uh, thumbs up or thumbs down so far?
um,
Or too early to tell?
there's things I wish they were doing. Um, what it's what it's reminding me of a little bit is Battlestar Galactica. It's that
Oh, well, that's one of my all-time favorite shows.
yeah,
So that's
it's definitely not bad, but they're dealing a lot with governmental things and how the silo is being managed
gotcha.
while there's stuff going on with Juliet, which I won't spoil, but
Thank you.
there's I think it's been entertaining. I haven't looked at it and said, man, why are we watching this? You know, but I've been looking forward to the new episodes and watching them and being entertained by them. I think this season's going to really depend on how things wrap up at the end, which um I have a pretty good idea of how things are going to end at the end of the season. So we'll see. We'll see if that's if
Well,
they
we
less
thought that about the first season too.
yeah. And no pun intended. I hope they're not pulling the wool over our eyes right now. So
Oh, nice,
yeah,
nice.
if you don't get it, you don't get it. So
Have you watched any Skeleton Crew?
yes, I'm enjoying that show a lot.
My dad was like, "You've watched Skeleton Crew, right?" When I was home for Christmas, I was like,
Mhm.
"No, I haven't yet."
Yeah,
He's like, "Well, I'm watching it tonight." I was
yeah.
like, "Well, I guess then I'll go to the basement so you can watch your TV show because I
Mhm.
don't want to get spoiled." He says he really likes it, except for one character that he thinks is just not done well. And I can't remember which character that was, but when I watch it, I'll let you know. But he's like, other than that, it's a great show.
There, you could make that argument. I think with at least one character, but I'm holding out judgment on it because I feel like they're gonna do something
Mm-hmm.
to pay it off. But I know I've listened and read some of the theories about where the show is going, and
They're
it
gonna
could
bring in the Sith Lord from the Acolyte.
I know. Well, here's the thing: is that they're talking a lot. They've been talking a lot about the fact that there are so many moons. In moon as in the race that Darth Plagueis is. That
Oh, okay.
they're talking about the banking clan. They're talking about Scipio, which is where the banking clan is from. Um, there's a lot of like things that are leading people to believe that they're going to bring Darth Plagueis in, but
Yeah, where in the
um,
timeline is this show set?
that's what I was just trying to work out. The Empire. I think this is kind of just after, kind of in between episode 3 and 4, if I'm not mistaken. It might be a little bit later than that. Uh, Darth Plagueis should be dead at this point, so I don't know why
That's why.
they're.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was very confused
yeah.
when you said
Now,
in between 3 and 4.
now that I'm thinking about this, yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I have to look and see. I could be off on the timeline, but I think they were. I think originally it was supposed to be between um, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So kind of in that area. But you're not getting any storyline from the Skywalker saga.
Gotcha.
There's nothing. Like this is very small self-contained storyline. and
Well, and not
which is
yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah, not every
hmm
Star Wars show has to tie in. You know,
This.
that universe is big enough now that
hmm
you could have a dozen standalone TV series, that
hmm
don't reference Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader or Palpatine,
Yeah. And this show is actually, in a weird way, tying in more to the High Republic than anything else, which
Gotcha.
is why the timeline seems a little bit weird. Because I mean, not to say that they're some of the tech that you're dealing with, some of the stuff that's going on is more High Republic, or more ties into the High Republic um than anything that's current within the timeline that they're supposed to be in. So,
Yeah, so I just asked Google, and according to Star Wars fandom website, um, it's supposed to be around 9 ABY.
okay, so that would put it in the that would
Because
put
it
it
says,
around that time period of the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi would be in that area.
yeah, it says the events of Star Wars Skeleton Crew take place after the pirate siege on Navarro, seen in Chapter 21, The Pirate of Mandalorian, Season 3. Skeleton Crew must also be set around 9 ABY. So I think they're pulling from references in the show, but yeah, that's weird then about the High Republic and Plagueis stuff.
Yeah, so the how it's tying in is that they're starting to allude to planets that were um founded during the High Republic that are not known to the rest of the galaxy.
Hmm.
So I and then there's some tech that's coming into it that is ancient tech that people are looking at as being from the High Republic era. So, and possibly the Nihil from the High Republic. So if you don't know much about the High Republic era, the Nihil were kind of the bad guys at that point, and they were like pirates that were pirates, but way more organized and a lot more of them. You know, it was their mission was very much a pirate like mission where they were attacking ships and they were infiltrating the ships and taking ships, taking money, doing those sorts of things. But then they started to get a scope that was larger than that and started causing problems in the galaxy as a whole instead of just small like just attacking ships. The first book of the High Republic series starts with a ship being blown up in hyperspace by the Nihil. And as they came out of hyperspace, these ships are flying at such speeds that they're crashing into planets and destroying life on planets. And
That's not good.
yeah, and different things like that. So that's how you get introduced to the Nihil, because they're the ones that caused that catastrophe. And so
Gotcha.
that becomes you find out later that they actually did this on purpose, and they had like force sensitive person on one of the ships that created that issue because they could see when ships were flying through hyperspace and when to fly into them to crash into them. And so it's maybe a little bit complicated to explain, but the whole idea was that they were trying to destroy the Jedi and go after the Republic. So, but and one of the great characters in all of Star Wars, Marchion Ro, is introduced as the leader of the Nihil. So
Gotcha.
he's a good bad guy. But yeah, I'm enjoying the Skeleton Crew. If anything, it really feels a lot like Goonies. Yeah.
Well, That's what my dad said. It's
Hmm.
Goonies and Star Wars.
Yeah.
But what's funny is on the Wikipedia article, it says that one of the showrunners is John Watts. It says John Watts approached Lucasfilm about telling an Amblin Entertainment style coming of age story set in the Star Wars universe, and
Hmm.
apparently that's exactly what they're doing.
Well, some of the opening scenes reminded me a lot of that, because I even made a comment to Jamie that the like some of the, like, it was the suburbs in the Star Wars, because they're going down, this dude's riding his little speeder down the street in these
Uh-huh.
very suburban looking streets, but of course all the houses look very Star Wars ish,
Yeah.
and it was it was a very affluent area, so everybody had money, and you had some of the trappings of an affluent area, and
Hmm.
you don't find out until later why this planet is like that, um but it's interesting. And one of the things that I've been doing that I thought was interesting is they're using a lot of Arabic, the written
Yeah.
language of Star Wars, and you can download translators, where you can type in the letters and translate it into English, and it all means stuff. Like, it's
Yeah,
all
I love
very
when shows do
purposeful.
that. I
Uh,
love when shows do that.
Before you even knew what the planet was that they were on, the high school name was on the high school or the middle school as one of the kids was leaving. And if you went in and you translated it, you had the planet name, because the planet name's at Aden, and it was at Aden Middle School is what it said across the right above the doors in Arabic. So
So I will say this, one, because we're on the internet, and two, because it'll annoy you. When my dad told me it was Goonies in Star Wars, and I was like, "Ooh, Misa love chunk." He did not.
yeah,
Either he didn't like it or he didn't get it, because I got
yeah,
no response from
yeah.
him. It's like, come on, Dad, that was gold.
All right. Well, we're ready to wrap her up for this week.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think we've ran all over the place on this. So those of you who are watching at home, watching the video later, we are no longer offering a podcast, audio podcast of this. It's going to all be here on YouTube. So make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. In parlance, click the bell, and so you get notifications that we're live and that we've got new episodes up. We have been a little bit inconsistent about when we're doing the shows, and that's just because life is getting in the way. So it is what it is. So, but anyway, we thank you for showing up. You can check out the stuff that I do at mitchcraig.online. Cam, where can people find you?
CamBrennan.com.
All right, check us out. And we'll see you back here next time. Later, Internet.
Adios.